could I tell you something about study centers, and after that, incentives to volunteer work. They are the results of my study, and I try to explain all those 100 pages in this presentation. So what are study centers? They are nationwide, and they provide education that is founded by the Ministry of Education and Culture, as Aki told you, but only 30% of those financing comes from Ministry. The rest of the financing comes from our associations, because we are educating volunteers. It's not possible to take some money of them. Ministry also monitors the educational services we provide. Anja told you that we are 12, but some part of them, 8 of them are party political study centers, and the rest are unpolitical. Or it's wrong to say that they are not political. They try to affect to many things in our society, but they don't have members. Political parties are not the members of those independent study centers. So more than 200,000 learners participate those studies. So altogether, and my own study center where I work as executive director and principal, we have 150,000 citizens who are taking part to our courses. So we are the biggest one. And then our courses and study circles. Do you know something about study circles? Have you ever heard?
Yeah, because they are basically working in study circles.
Okay, you know them very well then, and it's a very typical way learning study centers in one very big part of our education happens or implement in study circles, and I hope it will continue because it's very good way to learn also. We have our own organizations. For example, if I tell something about our own study center, our member is, for example, Red Cross. It's very big organization. Maybe you know it because it's very typical everywhere in the world. So they do a lot of voluntary work, and the volunteers need education and training. I have to say that many Finnish people don't know that they take part to study centers learning, for example, scouts or volunteer fire brigades. Do you know what it is? Because our fire brigades are basing mostly on the volunteer work. They don't get any salary or wage. They just do it. They like to do it in many reasons. I would like to tell you something about that a little bit later. But if we talk generally about study centers, so a political party can be also the provider, and then trade union, or even local parish church. And as Aki told you, so we can say that we are quite close to each other, because all these functions or activities are basing on those ideologies ideological reason that our member organizations have. These are the general aims we are doing or organizing in our education. So voluntary work is very important and large area. And then studies that are related to member organization core idea and also objectives such as ideological, cultural or spiritual goals and values. Then active citizens is very, very important subject also. All kind of self-development, communication skills, IT skills nowadays, but all of them have something to do with those organizations' objects. And therefore, of course, organizational skills are needing and negotiation skills and organizational other activities. Then my own study center. Our own staff are only 30 people. We have offices, 5 offices. For example, here in Tampere. Tampere is one, and in Oulu, in Joensuu, in Turku, and our main office is in Helsinki, where I work. As I told you, 150,000 citizens take part in the courses and peer or study groups. You can call them peer groups or study groups. And of course you can see that it's not possible when we are only 30 people in our own staff is not so large. We can't do it all. Our member organization implements the most part of our studies, but we are guiding them. We are maintaining to plan their courses, and of course we are monitoring them that the quality in those courses is very high. We ask feedback every year from the partakers, how they feel, have they learned, or something else, other questions too. And every year we get very good feedback, very high quality in those courses. But we try to develop them every year, coming better and better. And you know that our society is changing all the time, so we need to develop our methodological ways how to get people trained and suitable subjects to do voluntary work. It's very large branch, and like I said, that it's not very typical to learn or study in classroom. It's more typical to learn, for example, offshore. We have some, for example, this fire recharge. They are practicing their skills every day in the nature or in some very difficult situation too, because they have to react very quickly and they have to know what to do when alarm is coming and so on. And our member organizations are politically independent. It's very important value for us, but of course they do that kind of work that they would like that our society will be good to everybody. We have health organizations, education and culture organizations, for example, children's shelter organizations. So they would like to take care of that our laws are maintaining children's welfare, and many other organizations too. Citizens advise the environment. Environment organizations are very important nowadays. They are very global too, so they have very many global connections as we also. So it's very important organization group. Then other specific areas of activity. So I can say that in those member organizations is a field, a large field of our society, and if I didn't say that 1.2 million people are doing voluntary work, it's very high level. Then these orientations in voluntary work and incentives on voluntary work, it's very interesting to know why people do voluntary work, why they continue to do it without any salary or wage. And it's not very typical. For example, in Germany, where we have connections to, they say that it's not possible, for example, to do volunteer fire recharge work, because young people can't take any salary. And we have also official fire recharge here in Finland. They get salary or wage, and but Finland is a very large country, and it's not possible to have everywhere their kind of recharge. And also in Helsinki, there are a lot of fire recharge work without salary. Then I tell you something about my research, if I have time. I don't know, some minutes. It was nearly 2,000 people who answered to the question I asked for this study, and they produced over 5,000 sentences or statements. I have analyzed this data in four steps. But here you can see very important part of my research results, and these persons don't mean anything, because I would like to know the wholeness, the big picture of these incentives, what helps volunteers to continue in their volunteer work. The question is not about that they begin volunteer work. Somebody can think it could be interesting, I can try, but don't continue to do volunteer work. But those intensives makes them to do it quite continually. So main orientations you can find here: individualistic orientation, 3 sub-orientations are there: resources, self-development, well-being, or wellness. Co-focus orientation, 2 sub-orientations: results and feedback. Then community orientation, there is organization, regard, training, supervision, and then community orientation, ideological orientation is missing. Why? I don't know, but you can see that here. It's helping, and then advocacy, helping others and advocacy, so ideological. So there are a lot of reasons, or I can say reason groups why people do voluntary work. Then I have also I have looked at the connection between those background information and these incentives. It was possible because it was a large sample, and I have found there many connections. For example, unemployed people think that it is very important thing to continue voluntary work because they can develop those skills, and so on. Many things, many connections, but maybe you can hear about them a bit later. Thank you. Thank you. I hope that you get some